they just said, let's not drill, let's go to more of the things that don't work. And energy went up at a level that you will soon see again, by the way. You're going to see it again. I see that in California. They just hit $8.15 a gallon. That's not good. And you'll be following, unfortunately, but we're going to get it done. You know, we were at $1.87. Think of that, Ben, $1.87 a gallon. That's when I told you I was going to make a great deal with China, a great deal with Canada and Mexico. I said, go out, buy more land and bigger tractors. Do you remember that? I said, bigger tractors and more land. But most embarrassing is the inept withdrawal. I was getting out of Afghanistan. 21 years was a long time, but we were getting out with dignity, honor. You know, I called up the head of the Taliban, and I said, Abdul, don't ever do what you're doing, Abdul, because they were knocking him off left and right. They were shooting, killing a lot of people, especially under Obama. They were killing them, the snipers. And I spoke to him, the fake news media. I don't know, I hope the fake news media, they weren't thrilled. They weren't exactly thrilled. But the fake news went out, and they were very upset that I called him. I said, well, who else would I call? He's the leader of the Taliban. He's the one that's killing our people and killing a lot of people. I tell the story, Jesse James, he was a great bank robber, right? Jesse James. I said, Jesse, why do you always rob banks? He said, because that's where the money is, right? That's where the money is. You stupid person to ask a question like that. I rob banks because that's where the money is. Well, I dealt with the Taliban and the head of the Taliban because that's where the killing was. And we went 18 months after that, not one soldier even shot at, and we were losing them left and right. And we would have had a withdrawal that would have been very nice, and we would have kept the big air base. You know, we had an air base, one of the biggest in the world, and not because of Afghanistan, but because it's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. It would have been nice to keep it called Bagram, and we would have kept that. I was planning to stay there. They gave it up. They ran out at night. I mean, they took the military out first. Before they took out anything, they didn't take the American citizens, many of whom are still there now. A lot of people don't know that. They cannot be enjoyable right now. They can't get out. But they took the military out first. Then they tried to take the citizens and the military equipment. We left $85 billion worth of equipment behind. Think of it. How stupid are these people? You know, I hate to use that word, but it's just a very accurate word. How stupid are they? How stupid? And they left all that equipment behind. And now Afghanistan is the second or third largest seller of military equipment in the world. They're selling our equipment that we left behind because they don't need anywhere near. They need about 3% of it. 700,000 rifles and guns, 70,000 trucks and cars, many of them armor-plated, costing millions of dollars to build, airplanes, tanks, goggles, you know, the goggles. They weren't, you know, they're great fighters, but they never fought at night because they couldn't see at night. Now they can fight at night because we left them the best goggles, brand new, never taken out of the box, and better than what we have. Thousands and thousands of goggles. People say, oh, that's not so good. Well, it is. Those are very expensive. Those are treasures. We gave them everything, and what we got is nothing but embarrassment. The most embarrassing moment, in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And I think that's one of the reasons that Putin said, hey, if these people are so inept to allow a thing like that to happen, let's go and try and take Ukraine right now. And I think it opened the world to some very bad facts. But the truth is, you know, we defeated ISIS 100%. Ben was with me. 100% of the ISIS caliphate. And we did it in 4 weeks. You know, we did that in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. And we knocked out 100% of that. And it was an honor to do it. We were told that we couldn't do it for 4 years. It would take 4 years at least and maybe not be able to do it. We did it in 4 weeks. We have unbelievable military. And that was when I went over to Iraq. Do you remember that? I spoke to some incredible people over there. And they said, sir, I think we can do it in 4 weeks. You have time left over. And we had unbelievable. Our military is great, but we did things that nobody thought we could do. We would not have an open border where countries are emptying out their prisons and their mental institutions. They say, please don't use this term, sir. Insane asylums. That's Silence of the Lambs, right? Hannibal Lecter. Did anybody ever hear of Hannibal Lecter? The young people didn't. The young ones didn't. They don't want to hear about Hannibal. We don't want, but that's, they said it's a very tough term. I said, well, it's inaccurate. They're emptying out insane asylums. They're emptying out their mental institutions. They're emptying out their prisons and jails. And terrorists are pouring into our country. In record numbers, the terrorists are coming in. You know, they show a graph on one of the networks today that under Trump, 0 in 2019. They're showing 2019, 2020, 2020. 0 terrorists, think of that, came in. And then and then the march begins. They go to 2020, 2021, and now it's numbers that we've never even seen before. And what can be good about that? You know, whether you're liberal, conservative, common sense, it doesn't matter. I like to say I'm common sense. They say, what are you? You're very conservative. I say, well, I'm basically common sense. The people in this room are common sense. You don't have to say conservative. Somebody would say, oh, he gave up being a conservative. No, I'm conservative. We're common sense. We don't want open borders. We want voter ID. We want paper ballots. We want